right, don't forget to subscribe to Recipes for Teaching. Woohoo! All right, guys, so I'm on my way to my good friend Sherry Dobular's house, and a couple years ago, she was my marigold. And so I am going to have this episode today all about finding a teacher that is your marigold, and we're going to go into detail as to what that means as soon as we get inside. So here we go. Sherry's house right now. I'm so excited for you guys to meet her, and we're going to have this amazing video.
Grade, you're going to enjoy teaching, I think.
Now, I wish that we could claim fame for this marigold title, but we did find it on Cult of Pedagogy.
Yeah, on the internet.
On the internet.
And it's called Finding My Marigold or Finding Your Marigold.
And it is so true. The whole subject of finding your marigold in education is so true, especially if you're at a crossroads and you're really trying to figure out what to do. My marigold as a veteran teacher going into a new school, and so we want to talk about that today. For those of you that are a veteran teacher or even a new teacher and you're at a crossroads where you're kind of questioning whether or not you should stay in education or not stay in education and how to move forward, Sherry is a great muse, basically, to talk about that and to give us some advice about what to do in those situations.
Well, I think even if you've been in a school a long time and you feel like you're drowning, or you're new to the school, it doesn't matter what age you are, if you're a veteran or a new teacher, I think you need to seek out that positively, smiley, happy teacher that you would want for your own child or for yourself, or who you remember, like, who was your favorite teacher? It was that happy, bubbly teacher that had a positive. Find that teacher. Hopefully on your grade there's one, and someone that likes to share.
And so if they're not on your grade level, then
you can go to another grade level,
right,
and say, what are you doing? I actually did do that at my school. I actually found the happiest, bubbliest teacher. She's in second grade, and I went during my lunch break, brought my lunch in there, and I really did watch her 3 times to see what her classroom management techniques were, because she only uses the positive. And instead of saying, I need you to sit in that chair or do whatever, she's like, oh, I really like the way you're sitting in that chair. Wow, look at that person, how nicely they're walking. Like, I love the way that person got right to work. I'm looking for the person who opened up their folder first. Everything was in the positive, so instead of, if you don't walk nicely in line, then it's, wow, I love the way that person's walking in line. You know what, you're going to be my line leader next week. So just redirecting all that positive talk, just watching her 3 times really helped me. Also finding someone, I had another teacher I went to, she's in first grade, I'm in kindergarten. Can I just look at your lesson plans? They're similar to mine. Can I just see your format? She emailed me her format. I looked to see what she was doing. Because lesson plans, classroom management, if you're organized and you got that down, you're good to go. And you have to find that teacher that loves teaching with a positive attitude. You also got to block out the walnut trees that are waiting for retirement, complaining about the staff meetings, mumbling under their breath, that they don't even like kids, saying how things used to be. You don't want to go near those people. So if you really
to sit down and find that bubbly teacher at the school.
But wait, important before I forget. Even if you're not given the time to go, which you're not going to be, and given a sub to go look at someone, you need to look at your schedule when you have fine arts, that 30 minutes there, and your lunch. Even if you did it 3 times in a whole year, you go to those teachers' rooms during that time, you will learn so much in that short period from those marigold teachers to implement in your own room, even from another grade.
Yeah. in your own heart. And maybe that's something that we can talk about really quickly.
Right, and I'll wrap it up quickly that really when you're a teacher, you're in your room all day by yourself for the most part, unless you do have a co-teacher, which would be a whole other segment. But if you go in your lunchroom and it's a happy, positive place, or even if someone's complaining and you can spin it around and give them the positive on it and try to make the lunchroom more of a happy place, it is interesting that even someone putting a positive turn can set the whole room different. Then that's a great place to eat lunch. But if they're just bashing school, politics, the administration, the kids, you don't want to eat in there.
Yeah.
You're better off eating in your room alone or with one other teacher in your room that has a positive attitude. But I think that's the main thing that sends teachers away is listening to all that negativity. I actually said to my principal secretary, if you were a teacher, whose rooms would you go in to see? She gave me 3 names right off the tip of her tongue.
Yeah.
I said to the vice principal, if you wanted to go observe 3 teachers during your lunch break or your fine arts, who would you go see?
Yeah.
I asked my principal at the end of my evaluation I had issues with classroom management. Who would you go in to see? Is it any surprise that all 3 unknowing gave me the same 3 names?
Yeah.
So that's enough. I mean, you can ask the front desk person and they will tell you who to go see.
So definitely as a veteran teacher at that crossroads going into a new school or going into a new educational environment, or a new teacher who, I mean, that's a completely different segment that we're going to be touching on is new teachers in education. But the best advice that we can give you right now is find that marigold to help you.
And the marigold will be flattered that you came to see them,
yes,
which will start a new friendship with that person because that's what happened to me. It's like when you go in and you go, wow, I heard great things about you from the principal, secretary, front desk person, and you go in to see them, they're going to come and check on you and say, hey, how are you doing? Did that work well in your class? And that is who you want to be friends with. And they're very open with the lesson plans rather than the other teachers who are so bitter and competitive. They're going to hide them when you come in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone into a copying room and teachers see me coming and they're hiding what they're copying because they're so competitive. They don't want me to have the same thing in my room.
And that's a really tough thing. If you're a veteran teacher and you've gone to a new school, or a new teacher going to a new school for your first time, and you're kind of stuck and you're trying to figure out what to do, and you go ask your teammate for advice or ask them what they're doing on their lessons, and they're like, oh, well, we haven't done our lesson plans yet, and you know that they really have, and they just don't want to share it with you, that can be such a disheartening experience.
And that happened to a friend of mine around here.
And that can really, hurt your self-esteem.
Let them know you have that growth mindset, you want to learn. Who should I go to? And kind of align yourself with them and these positive teachers, then getting sucked into what I call the rebellion.
Yeah.
And then you're in this negative space.
Yeah. So find your marigold. We're going to leave you on that note today, and have a great day.